name is SHAHIDAH binti Muhammad and these are my group mates.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is AIMI SAHIRA binti HALIM.
My name is NUR'AIN UMIERAH binti RUSLIZAWAWI.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is DAYANA BALQIS binti HAMIDAN.
Hi, my name is ATHIRA AMALIN binti Cik Mustapa.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya AIMAN HAKIM bin BADZRUL NIZAM.
Today, we are going to present about the macroeconomic objective from the conventional perspective in Algeria. Algeria is a country in the Maghreb region of North Africa. It is the largest country by total area in Africa with a population of 44 million and is the 9th most populous country in Africa. There are 5 objectives that we are going to talk about, which is to achieve full employment, to achieve price stability, to achieve economic growth, to achieve equitable distribution of income, and to achieve equilibrium in foreign sector.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. My name is AIMI. Today, I'll talk about one of the objective macroeconomics, which is to achieve full employment. Full employment means that all available resources in a country has been utilized. However, it is impossible for full employment rate achieved at 100% and unemployment rate at 0%. This is because of some people unemployed could be moving on to new job and choose to resign, or they could actively seeking for a job. Many consider 4 to 5% of unemployment rate to be full employment and not particularly concerning. For today's main focus of full employment, we will look to the country given Algeria. On the recent years of 2020, Algeria unemployment rate had been reported at 11.53%. This rate has shown that Algeria is currently facing with macroeconomics problem of unemployment. The crucial consequences of unemployment to the economy are wastage of available resources and social problems. In a conclusion, it is very clear to say that Algeria did not achieve this objective of macroeconomics, which is full employment. Therefore, their government need to do something to overcome this macroeconomics problem. That's all from me today. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ain. I will talk about the next macroeconomic objective is to achieve price stability. As we all know about the pandemic that hit across the country recently, the COVID-19 pandemic had a strong effect on Algeria in 2020. A high degree of inflation rate that is associated with a sustained increase in the general price level can be disastrous to an economy. As we can see in 2020, the inflation rate was 2.4% compared to previous year only 2% in 2019. Though Algeria's inflation rate fluctuated substantially in recent years, it increased throughout the year until a period ending at 2.4%, while inflation rate for the world was 3.2% in 2020. However, if the government resort to monetary financing of the budget deficit, it could over time impact the monetary policy objective of limiting inflationary surge. From the statistic that the average inflation rate was 9% per year. In other countries, that price increase is that high. The rate in 2020 means that compared to the previous year, all prices have been increased. In comparison to other countries, the price increase is no longer on average because of politics and economics. Maintaining price stability is necessary to avoid uncertainty and disruptions in the economy. So, Algeria need to put efforts to ensuring that the inflation rate in their country is kept as low as possible. Because maintaining price stability is really important to policymakers.
Next, to achieve economic growth in Algeria. Algeria current GDP in 2020 is $144.29 and $171.07 in the year 2019. The GDP between the year 2019 and 2020 is decreasing. Algeria economic growth is currently in recession within the strict lockdown due to COVID-19 pandemic and a fall in the price and volume of international hydrocarbons exports in the first half of 2020. Recession is a period during aggregate output declines. During the recession phase, the unemployment rate in Algeria increases. During the lockdown, labor-intensive sectors such as services and construction have been deeply affected. Many jobs have lost on temporary or permanent basis and more jobs placed at risk. Algeria's long-term economy is slowing down because of the shrinking hydrocarbon sector, model of growth, and private sector is struggling to take over as the new driver of growth. Algeria is a country exporting oil to the other countries and will need to shift towards a more diversified economy model if they want to reach higher economic growth rates in the future. The country has been under financial problems due to fall in exports earning and has forced the government to try to cut spending on imports, goods and services. As a result, the country deficit has reached $15.2 in the first 5 months of 2021. By the year 2021, Algeria expects its economy to grow by 4.2% as they predict better performance in the energy sector. As shown in the graph, the forecasted GDP growth in Algeria for 2021 was 6.2%, compared to 5.2% in 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the negative trend of the GDP growth, Algeria was still a leading company of the African continent in 2019.
Hi, my name is ATHIRA AMALIN and I'm going to explain about the 4 macroeconomics problem, which is to achieve an equitable distribution of income. What is equitable distribution of income? It means the smoothness or equality with which income is dealt among members of a society. In other words, it means that the gap between rich and poor is not excessive, but still enough to create incentive to work. We can measure income distribution by using Gini coefficient or Gini index. We can take a look at the North African country, Algeria. Algeria has high economic inequality in which the consumption rates of the rich and poor spreads by as much as 32.2% according to the Algeria Gini Index in 2018. This means consumption rate inequalities are high and narrow compared to the past years, which is 27.7% in 2011. This will result in a big challenge of poverty in the country, which will increase in the coming years. The graph is showing the Gini index of Algeria from 1988 to 2018. As well known that taxes are imposed to reduce the income gap between the higher income group and the lower income group to control inequality. In order to overcome the problem, Algeria has increased the tax revenue, which the draft is approved by Algeria Councils of Ministers. For instance, taxes on domestic property rentals would increase by between 7 and 10%, and tobacco prices would rise between 60 and 100%. That's all from me. Thank you.
Achieving the equilibrium in the foreign sector, including the transaction of the import and export, investment in other country and intercountry tourism, meaning that a country will try to get a surplus in balance of payment, which is BOP, which shows the more inflow than the outflow of money in the foreign sector. Even though the country might try to get an overall surplus value, if a surplus of BOP continuing for a long time or longer than usual, it will lead to inflation. Meanwhile, when it is an opposite of it, that it is a deficit of BOP, it will lead to the high debt problems in the country. For example, in 2019, the top import in Algeria are refined petroleum, wheat, packaged medicaments, concentrated milk, and vehicle parts. It is importing mostly from China, France, Italy, Spain, and Germany. Meanwhile, in the export sector, the top export of Algeria are crude petroleum, petroleum gas, refined petroleum, nitrogenous fertilizer, and ammonia. It is exporting mostly to Italy, France, Spain, United States, and United Kingdom. Based on the graph of the current account balance of the year 2019 in Algeria, the country will have to be in debt with the other country. Algeria might be in a problem as the year increases, which the country will have a high debt crisis in the country. As the graph shown, the prediction on the debt is predicted to be increased from 60.54% in the year 2021 to 107.24% as the year reaches 2026.
As a conclusion, Algeria country has not been able to achieve all the conventional perspective except for the price stability. Algeria can still achieve the price stability despite the rising in inflation rate from the previous year. Focusing on the economic growth, Algeria cannot achieve it because they are experiencing an economic recession due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the falling prices of the exporting oil. Moreover, Algeria cannot achieve the full employment because they are currently facing the unemployment problem. The unemployment rate in Algeria has been increasing and become even worse because of the pandemic COVID-19. As for the distribution income, Algeria cannot achieve it due to the inequality income for people. The consumption rate inequalities are high and the gap between the rich and poor are bigger. For the foreigner sector, Algeria need to get an overall surplus of balance of payment, which shows that Algeria have greater inflow than outflow of money in order to achieve the equilibrium. During the recent year, the BOP of Algeria are having a BOP deficit. If this continues, Algeria will have a high debt problem in the upcoming years. That's all from us. Thank you.